We are in the final push of the KGW Great Food Drive. We're very close to our goal of providing more than 1 million meals to families in need. With us now to talk more about this is Jill McGinnis with Safeway Albertsons and Rachel Lucille Jackson-Davis with the Oregon Food Bank. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so in addition to the food drive, it's spring break. So what does that mean for families right now?
Yeah, so my kids are on spring break right now, and what a lot of people don't realize is that when kids are out of school, they're not getting consistent meals. For some kids, those consistent meals are really happening at school. So those children have to, or those families who are really struggling with already like the rising costs of healthcare and the rising costs of rent and everything, really is stretching families and pushing families further into food insecurity. And those kids missing out on those meals and those families having to come up with those 10 extra meals per week is a lot for those families.
For sure. We're talking about breakfast and lunch, so 10 extra meals per kid, depending on how many kids at home. Yeah, you're right. It is a lot to cover for sure. What are you seeing in the community more broadly right now?
Yeah, so the Oregon Food Bank Network over the last 2 years has seen a 51% increase in visits to our food pantries, and that's 2.9 million visits just in the last year. So we're definitely seeing that this is not, it's a growing trend, it's not slowing down, and yeah, that's why partnerships like the KGW Great Food Drive are really, really important.
Yeah, let's talk more about that because, Jill, Safeway, and Albertsons are big supporters of the food drive, so thank you. Tell us about your involvement.
Our foundation's largest focus is breaking the cycle of hunger. And so we actually have a goal that by 2030, we can enable 1.5 billion meals. So that's not just ending hunger today or tomorrow, but forever. And so here locally, that's 34,000 meals a day that we're trying to enable. So as you can tell, like nourishing our neighbors is really important to us. And that's why our relationship with the Oregon Food Bank is so important.
Yeah, and talk more about how you're accepting donations at the pin pad.
We are. So now through the end of March at any Albertsons or Safeway store, you can donate right at the check stand when you're doing your weekly groceries. All those donations stay local to your community, and we've already raised $277,000 as of this morning. So one more week, don't forget to donate.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think people like to hear that the donations stay local. Can you talk a little bit more about kind of the network of food banks that the Oregon Food Bank is involved with?
Yeah, so the Oregon Food Bank Network, it spans across the entire state of Oregon and in Southwest Washington. And a lot of the ways that people can support are really like through our advocacy efforts. We were just advocating for free school meals for all. And unfortunately that didn't pass in the short session, but we're really, those are the types of programs that can really, really help families.
Yeah, are those kind of the long-term solutions to ending hunger? What else is another solution outside of the food drive that the food bank is working on?
Yeah, so I mean, there's lots of ways to donate to your local food banks and your local pantries. Also volunteering is a really huge way of giving back.
Yeah. And what do your employees say about this time of year, about the food drive?
They love volunteering, and it just feels like a way for us to do something active in our communities, in the locations where we serve, that really helps the people that we serve. So when you're donating in Vancouver, for example, your donations stay right there in Clark County. So it means a lot to our associates that it stays local.
And I want to talk about one more statistic. One in 6 kids in Oregon is experiencing hunger. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us more
1 in
about
6
that.
kids across Oregon.
It's hard to hear.
It is. And that's like, there's so many kids across the, Oregon and Southwest Washington that are really, it's really like a hard statistic to hear.
Yeah.
It's a lot of kids.
Okay, talk about if people want to get involved, how they can do that and learn more about the Oregon Food Bank and all that information.
Yeah, so there's a website on your screen, and you can go to that website to learn more about how you can get involved. And the OregonFoodBank.org/KGW Gives is one way that you can donate.
Yes, you can make a donation there. Another way to help is also to give online at kgw.com/ KGW.com/food drive. And just want to remind you, a $25 donation provides a week of meals for a family. And all this week, Mr. Plywood will match all donations up to $5,000. We want to thank local Toyota dealers, Pacific Office Automation, Rivermark Community Credit Union, and Safeway for supporting this year's food drive. And of course, one more week to give it the pin pad. Remind people how easy it is to do.
Right when you're checking out your groceries, you can choose any amount that you're comfortable with at the check stand and just feel comfortable knowing those donations stay right in your community.
Yeah, even just rounding up helps. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your support.